because you talk about one slide and talk about another, like Maria did, but taking turns. So let's see what happens. Please forgive us.
So let's go to the countdown. 5,
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
These slides were borrowed from Barbara Sakamoto. Barbara is one of the ITTI authors, of which Henrik and I are proud co-authors. Barbara is the author along with Chuck Sandy from
Okay, so how is ELT like fashion? This is the first question. Well, like in fashion, trends come and go, so it's not any different. ELT is just like fashion in that people do research, create new theories, and then apply these theories in the way designers create their own clothes.
Probably the first method, grammar translation method, was based on the teaching of reading rather than speaking, because it was believed that the learning of a foreign language would make people grow intellectually. They actually didn't speak the language, as I said, and the focus was...
However, the grammar translation was not a look that everyone can wear well, as is the case. It was that teachers going abroad did not speak their first language, and that was necessary in order to teach that method. So it had its, this is one of the main drawbacks.
Reaction to the grammar translation method. The fashion, which maybe best represents it, would be the fashion boots, because they are worn throughout the year and they come and go.
And I have no idea what the next slide is, but let's see. Oh yes, taking the autolingual method, because that was a time when we had to teach a whole lot of people in a very short time because of military purposes. And one thing that contributed for this was the launch of the Sputnik
yes.
in the start of the Cold War. So lots of soldiers had to learn language.
Now, which fashion best represents the autolingual? They or their male bottom jeans. They've been worn for decades, right? And the autolingual will always find the big names in ELT.
Right. Yes, I do. Let's just still wait until the next slide. So here we come to the famous designers, right? Or actually more famous than the approaches that you associate with them. They're more, people know the names more than they know the contents of their approach. What names do you associate with Kateno, Russia's, Karan, and Lutanov? Any ideas?
Silent
Russia, or also called defensive language model, and current content language, community language.
Why weren't they so widespread? Too many rules. Yeah, teachers willing to teach using these approaches had to do special training courses in order to be able to teach using suggested PD, for example. But something in the 60s changed this. That's when people started to change it.
Two events happened almost at the same time in the United States and in the UK. In the United States, the Peace Corps, and in the UK, International House. And that was the first time teachers had to go abroad to teach the language, and that changed the ELT forever. And yes, that's a scholar primary in the bottom picture.
And then we enter what is called the post-method fashions in ELT. Now, the big names, most of whom are from Peace Corps and International House, they started creating guidelines, not rules anymore, in order for people to try them out, to create new hypotheses.
Stephen Pecha, who was a Peace Corps volunteer, is probably one of the most influential people from the Peace Corps. He developed the 5 hypotheses, and maybe although we cannot remember all of them, we always think about I plus 1, and this has changed the
communicative approach, right? This was the time for express yourself. The hippies like make love not war, the disco saying, for example, shake your booty, and the punks no future. The objective was communicate, sometimes to the detriment grammar, which was reduced to small capsules in the communicative approach.
Which papers are reading now?
ELT.
Yes.
Monster.
You figure
Yes.
what else? And in ELT?
In ELT we have docking. Henrik talked about today. We have TPL, whatever that stands for, I don't remember now, to There's PBL, that's like a party, Brazilian party. There's QUIL, and there's also MI, which is for multiple intelligences, that I remember.
Wow. So that's a good question. How smart are you? That's an even better question. How are you smart? Gardner never thought that multiple intelligences would be used as a way of teaching. But don't we use them to teach the children especially?
We do, don't we? So here, this represents QUIL. Immerse yourself. It's like, it used to mean take your kid to live abroad and to study in a public school so that the kid learns the culture and the language of that country. So this is one of the foundations of QUIL. Immerse yourself in the culture.
And that's documented. Like Henrik said, Adrian was using Dogme back in the 80s. And you, anybody here was learning Belgians in the 70s or in the 80s?
Anyone? I was.
So, it's been there forever, right? What's the takeaway message?
Well, let's see. Okay. The takeaway message is collect what you like, mix and match to find what works. You don't have to buy anything new, but use common sense, use good judgment, because this combination will be productive. Anything goes, it works.
Anything goes.
Yes.